Are we on?
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Hello, hello, hello.
Wish we could listen
Wow,
off.
you can count. 10 seconds.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Hello, hello.
1. Go.
The cough switch.
WMDX 92.7 FM, 1580 AM, Madison. And we are broadcasting live from State Street today. And it is snowy and slippery and just ice everywhere. It's oh wait, that's
it is kind of
that's an old script that we got here.
Oh, okay. Here, let's get today's forecast.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
not right.
It's clear. It's mild outside. It's 49 degrees.
It's unbelievable, right?
It's going to get up to 70 at least today.
That's ridiculous.
Maybe even warmer.
Well, you know what?
Unbelievable.
What's ridiculous is that then it'll drop to 17 degrees.
Yeah, tomorrow morning this time, you're right. In the upper teens, 17.
Causing great fissures in the earth. The earth will not be able to take that temperature change that quickly, and we are going to experience earthquakes.
Mudslides.
Convulsive lava flows.
Cats and dogs living together.
That's
mass
right.
hysteria.
Yeah.
That's right. There you go.
That's tomorrow. Today's going to be fine. 49 degrees right now, 70 this afternoon. It's a heat wave, and then, boy, that cold front's going to push through overnight tonight. It's going to get windy and cold, and yikes. Just get ready for it.
I know. It's perfect weather for going out to Short Stack tomorrow morning.
That's right.
And visiting us on State Street.
Yeah, we're going to be live there at Short Stack Eatery, 301 West Johnson Street. Johnson, right by State Street there, that little corner. And we'll be there from 6 to 8 a.m. having those flapjacks, the short stacks.
Right.
It's going to be fun. We invite you to join us tomorrow morning as you try to, figure out what's going on with the weather. It's going to be cold. I bet they'll sell a lot of pancakes tomorrow.
I bet they will.
Warm everybody up.
We'll help people
make
through
it
the door just in case they've made that trek through the snow and ice and blazing wind.
I don't think we're expecting that much snow, but just enough to make it interesting. Just a little slippery here and there.
All right.
We'll watch it. We'll watch it closely.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah, we'll watch it.
Yeah.
We've got nothing better to do.
Nothing we can do about it.
That's how interesting our lives are.
That's what the weather, there's nothing you can do about it. You just, let it happen.
Is that why you became a weatherman?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing you could do about it.
Yeah,
So
just report on it.
Report that.
Try to predict it, get as close as you can and then, see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way the weather goes.
I don't think we've installed the weather roulette wheel here in the studio.
We had it going for a couple of days.
Unfortunately, I don't have it
Oh, you
installed
don't
here.
have it. Oh, my
and
God.
I didn't bring it either. So,
Got to build another one.
Yeah, that one kind of fell apart after we built it the first time. So,
Well, I shipped it through the mail. I would assume that, it's a little late. Maybe we'll get it before the morning's.
Did you insure it?
No, I did not.
That's why.
I did not.
it's hard to get insurance.
Probably got broke in transit.
It could be.
All right. Well, today is the 27th day of February, and you would think, tomorrow would be the last day of February, but you'd be wrong because it's leap year. So we have one more day of February on Thursday.
That's right.
And then March. Is March going to come in like a lamb or like a lion? We'll just have to wait and see.
Well,
The edge of my chair, thinking about what's it going to be like in a couple of days.
well,
I don't know.
it will.
But today,
it will come in.
what's happening today? Well, here it is. It's February 27th. Let's go through the national days. If we have some music here, let's try to guess which one of these it is not. Okay? You guys ready for this?
Okay.
You don't care. All right. Is it
Yes.
Anosmia Awareness Day?
What?
Yeah, that's what I said.
All right.
Is it National Retro Day? Is it National Polar Bear Day? Is it or is it not? Is it National Argyle Day? Is it National Strawberry Day or is it National Kahlua Day? Which one of those days does not belong?
It's National Argyle Day. Is not the correct day, my friend.
You are correct in not being correct. Yes. That's not a day.
Oh.
It might be some other day, but it's not today.
It isn't, yeah.
Anosmia Awareness Day is today. Anosmia. Do you have any idea what that might be, John Peterson?
I have no idea what that is.
It's a condition causing the loss of smell.
Oh.
You know, after the pandemic, a lot of people lost their sense of smell because of the pandemic. If they, if they had COVID, and and anyway, all of our senses, smell perhaps is taken for granted more than any other. So anosmia, I think I'm pronouncing that somewhat correctly.
Mm-hmm.
There are many causes of it. The most common reasons appear to be upper respiratory or sinus and nasal infections or diseases. We've all experienced a cold or an allergy that temporarily causes the loss of smell. So that's the
that's it, right?
That's it. So now we are aware of anosmia.
Wow.
Or not.
I wonder if I should go get that checked out at a doctor because I have a really terrible sense of smell.
There
Do
you
you
go.
really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You should definitely take care of that.
Has that always been the case, or is that just a recent development?
As far as I know, I don't remember it being significantly better in the past.
Did you have COVID? Did you get
No,
it?
I don't think I did. I never tested positive for it. So.
Okay.
Okay. It's National Retro Day.
Well, you
Okay.
should look into that, my friend.
Yeah. Go to the doctor on a regular basis.
Son, you've got a condition.
Yes.
National Retro Day takes us back to a time before smartphones and the internet. Every generation looks back and asks, remember when? This celebration indulges our love for the good old days while remaining in the present. Okay. National Retro Day.
Yeah, not a lot of love for the old technology.
No.
I mean, it was fun going through it kind of at the time, cassette decks and 9 transistor radios hanging from our
Turntables.
handlebars with that little wire hanging in to our ear. It just, I don't miss any of that stuff at all.
You don't?
No. When I watch a movie, I always tell my kids and my wife, I say, that's before cell phones.
Yes. And they go, what?
That's what we used to do before cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a good thing.
Do you collect vinyl? Do you have a turntable? Do you use it?
I do.
Yeah?
I do,
Well,
yeah.
that's kind of before cell phones, right?
Well, I'm not going out buying vinyl at this point anymore, even the newer records. No.
Okay.
I don't have room in my office. I just don't have room for a turntable.
Yeah.
I know
Same
they
here.
have the USB connections. I have a USB connector,
Right.
but I just don't have a place for a turntable, and I don't play records very
I getcha.
often.
I know what you mean. Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
It's National Polar Bear Day, also known as International Polar Bear Day. It focuses the attention on conservation efforts and learning more about the fabulous polar bears on February 27th. John, did you know that the polar bears can reach a height of 9 feet tall
No.
and weigh 1,400 pounds?
No.
Yes, they use their large, slightly webbed front paws to paddle as they swim. They're powerful swimmers. Some polar bears swim hundreds of miles from land. Boy, they must get tired. However, some of the distance may be covered by floating on sheets of ice. Of course, that ice is becoming more and more rare as things continue to melt and we drift toward the eventual apocalypse. Okay, but, we're here today and everything's fine. Okay.
Can't wait. All that just talking about the polar bears.
National Strawberry Day.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I like strawberries.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Everybody knows about strawberries. Let's just move on.
Why
No,
is Strawberry
no,
Day
Strawberry
in
Day.
February?
Yeah.
Why?
Why wouldn't
Yeah.
it be during
Why-
the season?
Yeah,
of
like
strawberry?
August or something.
Right. Let me go back.
Gotta pull the page back up.
Pull the page back.
Well,
up.
we don't want to trouble you or
I
anything.
know it's really difficult using this computer and this mouse.
There you go. You're on the right page now.
We continue with February's heart-shaped and red theme by observing National Strawberry Today. National Strawberry Day today. These juicy sweet berries can brighten up any dish and delicious all on their own. There are different stories behind the origin of the name. The more widely accepted version is that berries would drop off the leaves and become strewn about the plant. Strewnberries became strawberries.
Really? Wow. Strewnberry.
Are you buying this?
I like it.
I'm not buying this.
I like that name.
I've heard this before for the theory of
Strewnberries?
how the word came about. Yeah.
Oh, strewnberries.
Okay.
Well, here's an interesting fact. They have wild strawberries. You
Okay.
seen those? You can't eat them. They're not good.
Really?
Yep. Wild strawberries. Came across a yard full of wild strawberries, and I asked the owner, I said, well, what about these? This is a fantastic strawberry patch. Do you have, like, people coming over here picking them? She says, no, they're wild. You don't eat those.
What happened? You get sick?
I don't know,
Yeah.
Your curiosity didn't get the better of you? You didn't try one?
I think I looked it up when I got home, and she wasn't lying. Or else I would have gone back and picked those strawberries.
Oh,
I
well.
would have destroyed her lawn.
How sad it that have been. National Kahlua Day. Kahlua.
Kahlua,
That rich
yes.
cream coffee liqueur
Straight from Hawaii.
that also serves up a great many delicious desserts. The alcoholic beverage adds to cocktails and adult-flavored desserts equally well.
Does that have anything to do with Hawaii at all?
We'll find
The
out.
Hawaiian Islands?
I'm not seeing anything about Hawaii yet. Let me go a little deeper into the thing. Let's see.
Hawaii Kahula.
Pedro de Merrick began producing Kahlua in 1936. Doesn't say anything about Hawaii.
It sounds Hawaiian.
It says something about Sweden, but it's
Wow.
deep in
Okay.
the weeds here.
I was wrong.
It tastes great in coffee, hot chocolate, creamy cocktails, or a shot on the rocks. I could use some more coffee.
It
Where's
is
our
good.
coffee
Well,
guy?
yeah,
Is he around?
but no,
Yeah, he's never around when we need him.
Right.
And then
yeah,
yeah,
right.
over here.
He's right
Sam,
in
get
here.
him.
He
Not
just
again.
He's going down the wrong
Not
hallway.
again.
Oh, he's lost in the cubicles. He'll never find our
it just
way.
like jumped out and scared me. He was hiding in the other studio here.
Oh, great.
Well, that's good that he.
Does he live here?
Yes.
We got to do something
It
about that.
takes him a whole night to get
make the coffee?
coffee, grind it, put it in the filter, clean the coffee machine first, of course.
Of
Every
course,
day
you got to
it's
do
fresh.
that every day, every
day
single
it's
day. What else happened on this date, Sam? U.S. patent for aspirin.
Do we have
That's
time
right.
for this, or should we
19
come back?
Not really.
50 seconds. We can do this coming
Really?
out.
Okay.
22nd Amendment got passed, right? 1951. Right?
What is it?
The
22nd
22nd Amendment that limits
limits-
presidents to 2 terms.
That's right.
All right.
Walter Cronkite weighed in on his opinion on the Vietnam War.
Thank you,
Over
thank you.
There. Yep.
You got his voice down. There you go.
Oh, well,
Walter Cronkite.
that's the way it is. It is 18 minutes past the hour. It's mild, 49 degrees. Highs today around 70. When we come back, Florida is proposing expansion of Don't Say Gay to businesses. Whoa, that's coming up.
they are.
What is going on? And we're off and running.
Kahlua.
Kahlua, National Kahlua Day. There's nothing about where this was actually discovered or made.
Alexa, how did they come up with a name for Kahlua?
It's made in Mexico.
Jeez.
That's about all. It's about as close as I can get to anything.
20 seconds.
Do you want to go right into Don't Say Gay for Florida, or you want to
Sure.
tap dance? Well,
Oh, did we do everything?
I'm back! I'm back! I'm back!
come on.
I'm bad.
I'm back! I'm back! Get up off of that thing
Yeah.
and dance to you better. Get up off of that thing
doesn't get you going first thing in the morning, I don't know what will. Mad Radio, WMDX, 92.7 FM and 1580 AM, the godfather of soul.
James Brown.
I went to see him once.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Wow.
my sister was bold enough to force me to go to a James Brown concert at the arena in Milwaukee.
What year would this have been?
I don't know.
Yeah?
I don't know, but I did go, and it was incredible. I just didn't think that they did those kinds of things on stage. It's like really the first concert I'd ever seen.
I bet it was a production, right?
It
James
really
Brown.
was. And to be honest, I was way too young to even appreciate it. But it was just kind of a freak out for me.
Where's the arena in Milwaukee? What is that still a venue?
Yeah, I don't know if it is. I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
I don't think it is anymore.
The old days.
Yeah. Well, it's fascinating to look back on the 50s and 60s.
But we need to be in the present, in the present moment. We got to move on. Right?
Well, the cool thing was, Gordy,
yes,
you and we have experienced the great rock and roll era.
We have.
Everything. All the greatest groups
from
of
the very
all
beginning.
time.
Yeah.
We were there. We heard it for the very first time.
Yeah.
We heard it as oldies. We hear it as classic rock. And we are so tired and sick of that stuff.
If we didn't go to Woodstock, we went to the movie.
That's right.
And saw what happened.
There you go. Yes, we were there.
We were there. No, we weren't. So many people claim they were there.
Like the Ice Bowl, right?
Right. Yes.
Everybody was there.
Everybody was there.
Even though the stadium was very much smaller than it is today.
But we're here now, John.
Yeah.
Mad Radio, 92.7 WMDX.
Yes.
Yes. 608-879-8255. That's our number. You can use it. Don't abuse it.
Or abuse it.
Don't abuse it.
Oh, okay.
Send us a text. You can do that at that number as well. Yeah.
Yeah, just install that Civic Media app.
Yeah. Get the app. It's free and it's fun.
You need to expand the things you do in your life.
623.
I just sit around and it's so much fun playing with that Civic Media app.
You can listen to any of the 20 stations that are on there, and you'll never know what you're going to. I mean, it's fantastic, actually.
It is.
Very
it's almost
responsive.
like a roulette wheel.
It
you
is.
Just spin it, and you never know where you're going to end up.
There you
what
go.
topic you're going to be enlightened by. Right?
Yeah.
Speaking of roulette wheel,
Yeah.
we're working on building the weather roulette wheel. We should have it up and running by the bottom of the hour.
You
Oh,
got
really?
it.
Or
Yeah.
we're going to rebuild it?
Yep.
Right here in the studio?
The parts just came in the mail. You guys are on the air. I'm working on building it right now.
Well, okay.
Unbelievable. That's fantastic.
Okay.
I can't wait to hear this thing.
Excellent.
In the studio. See, we had it at home.
We did.
Testing
But then
it. We were
broke,
testing.
and it broke, and then we had to get it fixed. And
But
now we've got the new parts.
It's amazing that all the parts and the device itself arrived at the same time.
Okay.
Theater of the mind, they
Take
call
a
it,
breath.
right?
Take a breath.
All
Here
right.
we
So
go.
anyway, Florida is proposing the expansion of "Don't Say Gay" to businesses.
Why would they do this?
Why not? Why not have
They got
a little
nothing else to do.
Violate a few people's First Amendment rights
Yeah.
and go after the LGBTQ crowd?
Well, Ron DeSantis needs something to do, so here we go.
Well, they've been trying to do this. This is a work in progress. This is the legislation they've been trying to work on, and the legislation would silence LGBTQ community clinics. Beyond workplace regulations, the bill cast a wide net, extending it to the nonprofits, organizations supporting the LGBTQ community, and they face potential loss of state funds if their employees underwent sensitivity training on sexual orientation and gender identity. Now, you would think at one of these LGBTQ clinics that they would be at least introduced to sensitivity training of some sort. But now you can't do that because, well, I don't know. It's a
You don't
whim.
know?
It's a whim. The Republicans have this whim, and they decided,
They're big on the
We
whims.
don't need to treat people special.
They get a lot of whims.
Everybody, they're colorblind and they're sex change blind and they're gay blind.
Yeah. So they want to make a new bill.
They're writing a bill to make sure that it's spread. This don't say gay legislation is spread to businesses and nonprofit organizations as well.
Okay.
And in a complete understatement of this, the bill is an alarming escalation of right-wing extremism, as it was described by some people.
Uh-huh.
Described this way, the days of putting one company on a pedestal with no accountability are over in the state of Florida. We are going to tell them what to do. These are the small government Republicans.
Okay.
That's a comment from a Republican. The days of putting one company on a pedestal, and I think he's kind of referring to Disney a little bit there.
Oh, sure.
But, putting them on that pedestal is not going to happen anymore. Not in Florida, man. You come down here, you set up a business here, you're going to have to deal with us. Okay. The legislature will tell you what to do because we know everything about all things.
Mm-hmm. So they're going to tell Disney what to do.
They are.
They keep trying to do that anyway.
Yeah, where is that? Still on the docket, I would assume, in the courts, floating through the courts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. What can happen next? Is that bill likely to pass?
It's already. I would assume it's likely to pass now that DeSantis has more time to concentrate on Florida instead of running for president.
He could be vice president, though.
Could be.
You think he's still on the list?
No, I don't think so.
After they had,
Absolutely
after Trump
not.
was calling him Ron, what did he call him? Sanctimonious. Sanctimonious. He doesn't even know what that means, but it sounded good.
It could be Ron to sensitivity.
Yeah, that's a good name for him. Let's go with that.
Well, yeah, I just came up with it.
Send that off to Ron. Okay. And then Trump is busy ordering Alabama to go back on in vitro fertilization and make that okay, right?
He's declaring little things on the sidelines, thinking he's still president, like he's still in control.
Yeah, we've got something on that coming up.
We're going to talk about that,
Okay.
But all the sidelights that go with his attempt to control Alabama's law, and nothing. The thing is, nothing is progressing from that. We haven't changed anything. It's still there. In vitro clinics are closing down. They're putting people off as far as family planning.
Yeah, they didn't think about all that apparently when they declared frozen embryos children.
No one thought that somebody on the Supreme Court down there would think that maybe the Bible is something that we should all be ruled by. And we'll talk about that. That's the big issue in regards to Alabama.
6:29. We have news, weather, and Pam Yankees got a look at the farm markets. And we'll be back with more of John and Gordy coming up.
We'll be right back to the action right after this message.
I was looking for something. I think I sent the liners.
Yes.
Didn't I send you liners?
Yes, I got them right here.
Okay, good.
Well, yeah, I got them right here.
Yep. All right.
There's nothing really. I mean, the Maggie Dawn show. But
I just thought it was. I just thought I'd print them out. I mean, they don't change very much.
Well,
once you have it.
Yeah. But the sports ones, I thought there was a game tonight. I guess there is basketball, Wisconsin and Indiana.
Mark texted in about strawberries.
Okay. Mark says wild strawberries are edible.
Are they really?
Here, click that Windows update out of the way. Do you know where that is?
I don't know where that.
Oh,
that's
wait.
what it is.
Hey. Oh, you know. leaves can be used for tea. There's no damn pesticide. If no damn pesticides are sprayed on, they can be sweeter than domestic ones, but they are small.
Well, let's
we got
talk.
to update that.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that.
Strawberry fields forever, again. Update on strawberries. All right. The Twitter sampling.
Okay, and that would be
Russian.
that would be the I think 320 and 340, right?
That's 340.
Oh, and 322. No, 332. 332. We'll start with that. 332, 320, and 340. Right. Make sure they all relate kind of to the subject matter. I'm really trying to get the numbers right. How do I start at one again? How do I do that?
Erase all
how
the
do I
other
circle?
ones. Are you keeping those for some reason? All the
Yeah,
ones
we
in the
may go
100?
back to them. Yeah.
100s and 200s?
Well, I do a search
You got them at home?
for Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
Let's say I put Hunter in,
Right.
and it'll come up with the ones that
That's
pertain.
beautiful.
And
That's
then it just
beautiful.
Same thing going with the Demo Curmudgeon site. You just plug in something there and
Have you been updating
pops
that?
up.
We should
I have actually been doing that.
let's mention that.
Not as much as I wanted. Last night I wanted to post a whole bunch of stuff. I did not. I know we got to do the time tunnel.
Do
Yeah.
we?
Yep. February 21st is the last time I added anything. That was last Wednesday.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You're on it.
I even updated the title.
Oh,
The
you
title-
did?
Yep.
A title? What do you mean you updated the title?
I redid it. It's a little thing underneath Demo Curmudgeon. It says, "Listen to the John and Gordy Show."
Oh.
I didn't put that right in there. It took me a while to find the
The link?
the
link to our civic media?
no, the designed link,
Oh.
basically where I can rewrite some of the copy in it, change some of the parameters. But John and Gordy's Media World is there.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep. I really could get rid of the Coke, the fake
20
Coke call.
seconds.
It was
I mentioned Trump orders Alabama to allow in vitro. But you're coming back with
10 seconds.
Civic Media now returns you to the John and Gordy Show, already in progress. If you call this progress, there are a lot worse things you could call it if you ask me, but nobody asked me. Never mind. Why do I have to read this?
you don't.
no, not at all.
Yeah, force people to read things here. Yeah. Whether they want to or not, we do that here at the show.
Welcome back to John and Gordy. It's 49 degrees. Highs today about 70, John. A heat
boy.
wave.
And this is John and Gordy's Mad Pad.
That's right.
Mad Radio WMDX 92.7 FM and 1580 AM from the capital city, Madison, a block away from the Dome.
Before
what's
we
that?
get started here, that we had another, we have a text here that we have to
we
read
do.
from Mark
All
from
right.
Prairie du Sac.
Yeah.
We were talking about strawberries. You know, it's National Strawberry
Wild
Day.
strawberries are inedible.
Yeah, that's what you said. But he says wild strawberries are edible.
Oh,
According to Mark, they
wait
can
a
be
minute.
sweeter than the domestic ones, but they are also very small, and the leaves can be used for tea.
If you don't use
apparently.
pesticides.
If you don't use the damn pesticides. according to Mark. He said damn pesticides.
Obviously, they're way too sweet. Maybe that's what she meant. Just way too sweet. You don't eat them. They're really repugnant.
Well, maybe the pesticides back off on the sweetness.
Or
taste.
Maybe this woman didn't want me to come back and pick her wild strawberries.
She just wanted to get you off of her lawn.
Wild strawberry. Sounds like a Van Morrison song.
Yeah.
Wild strawberries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Wild reference that I'm not quite sure about. Okay, I was looking up, a while back, I was looking up Hunter Biden. I wanted to find out more about what was happening in the world of politics in regards to Hunter Biden.
Well, didn't everything sort of fall apart for the Republicans on Hunter Biden?
Well, it did.
Yeah.
It fell apart major league.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm there looking at this stuff on Twitter X, and suddenly I'm faced with nothing but Hunter Biden tweets.
Yeah.
And
a lot of them.
I'm thinking, you know what? I don't even have to read the Hunter Biden story. All I have to do is peruse everybody's comments about Hunter Biden. And that's exactly what I put down on my sheet of paper right here. And I'm going to pass it along to you in just a few moments. But first, a little preface on Hunter Biden, actual Russian conspiracies. Let's listen to this right now. 332. 332.
House Oversight Chairman James Comer says he and his colleagues plan to drop a bombshell.
It's going to be Judgment Day tomorrow for the White House.
You have the confidential FBI informant who's basically saying that Joe Biden took $5 million from Burisma.
The informant was a highly valued human source for the FBI.
A trusted, highly credible informant.
A trusted, confidential informant.
They had a credible source, one of their good sources.
Their most credible paid FBI informant.
Absolutely. We have determined that whistleblower is extremely credible.
The details come from an FBI informant who is very trusted.
A highly reliable informant that has always checked out all the information he's ever given us is checked out.
A confidential human source that had been reliable previously to the FBI. A confidential human source gave credible information. This FD 1023 is damning. I do a podcast 3 days a week, Verdict with Ted Cruz. The podcast has gone into the details.
This is a very crucial piece of our investigation.
Mm-hmm. And there you go. Pretty good, huh? They really relied on this information from the FBI.
Right. Yeah. That built the whole case. Yeah.
Oh, and you can imagine how long this has been going on and how many times they've been talking about this. And
For
you thought,
years.
well, the president's going to be taken down with this one.
Yeah.
Oh, somehow it's going to tie together with Hunter and Joe, or they're all coming down.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're, focusing, the House is actually focusing this attention on a private citizen is just is stunning to me. I guess they could do that to anybody, right? That would be the big threat.
Well, they're related to Biden, so take Hunter down. That helps to take Biden down, and Joe Biden's brother James Biden. They're all linked in together.
But I've got another cut here, 320, and things just kind of fell apart just a little bit. Let's check that out.
Joe Biden has never had any involvement or any direct or indirect financial interest in those activities. None. Do you take that at face value, Jessica?
Yeah. You shouldn't go before a committee and tell lies, and I don't expect that James Biden is doing that. I don't know why Jim Comer and Jim Jordan thought that perhaps it was going to be Joe Biden's brother that brought him down. But this is the path that they've chosen to take. And honestly, I'm surprised that they have this high of a threshold for humiliation. Every witness that they have called has decimated their arguments, from Devin Archer to Peter Schwerin to Marvin Young. And then we have the guy behind the Holy Grail document, the 1023, Alexander Smirnov, who's found that he had lied, about the charges, the $5 million that went to both of them. And then it gets even better. Not only did he lie, he was lying because the Russians were feeding him the disinformation. It's so embarrassing. I think Jamie Raskin was spot on when he said that this impeachment inquiry really ended yesterday when we found out that we have a Russian asset that was foundational to this impeachment inquiry. And Jim Comer and Jim Jordan should maybe try doing something for their constituents and let this go, because it's going nowhere.
There you go. Kind of blew up in their face as usual. As usual.
Wow.
You just can't live in this fantasy world expecting it to just kind of play out without getting caught, without it exploding in your face. Truly an amazing moment. And I'm telling you, this thing has been going on for ages since they found the laptop. I'm just I'm relishing this whole moment.
So what's the future for Hunter Biden? Can he walk away now, a free man, free of all these allegations? It's over?
Well, yeah.
Do they drop the whole thing?
I think so.
You know what? So what's his future now?
I understand.
What's he going to do?
A new laptop.
It's about time.
He's turned the page.
That old one.
Yeah, he's turned the page.
Because he got a new laptop.
Oh, man. So I just, some of these comments, these Twitter comments that I jotted down.
Yeah.
Like Paul Ryan. Yeah, we can't forget about Paul Ryan. He keeps reminding us that he was there at one time. And he said this about Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
They're helping curate a line of thought that is isolationist, that is pro-Putin, pro-Russia, pro-tyranny at the end of the day. And that is extremely dangerous for all of democracy.
Hunter,
How right could he be?
Paul Ryan said that?
He's going out on a limb.
He's seen the light.
Yeah, seen the light now, you think, right?
Yeah.
And for more than a year, Ted Cruz has been pumping Russian intelligence propaganda on his podcast and on Fox News. He alone contributed millions in free publicity to Putin's disinformation campaign. They must feel good, right? Must feel real good.
Well, Putin's got a lot more misinformation to spread.
Yeah.
As we get closer to the convention, the Republican convention will be, I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up for the convention. Yeah. Special guest.
Yes.
Bring in Putin.
Well, who should show up?
Who?
Hunter. Just like he did in that courtroom at one time. That was great stuff. By the way, Josh Marshall of Talking Points Memo says, don't think most people get the magnitude of the Hunter Biden Smirnov revelation. One big ongoing Russian operation from 2015 until today. 2015 until today basically confirms what has always been obvious. The Hunter Biden laptop was part of the same operation, the same propaganda operation by Russia. Now, we're bringing up Russia again, right?
Russia.
When Trump first ran, Russia helped out, and it's in the report. We know it's a fact, even though Republicans continue to say it was proven that it was never involved in anything to do with Russia. Well, no, that's not true. I don't know, but maybe their voters believe that kind of trash. The whole house of cards is tumbling in on itself, and we learn that the puppet master, this is another comment, the puppet master pulling the strings of his useful idiots in the U.S. House and the right-wing media is Putin. What a shocker. They are also against aid to Ukraine and hostile to NATO. Probably a coincidence, right? No. And just so everyone's clear, this is another comment, this would mean that Russia successfully used Grassley, Comer, Fox News, and others to damage the president of the United States and make fake info about him an article of faith on the right.
That's true.
It is truly mega catnip.
And that's the name of that, too.
I hope that we have settled this thing once and for all, and Hunter Biden can go home and enjoy his life.
Yeah, and get a new laptop.
And his drugs. Whatever he's into, I don't even care.
Yeah. Did he pay off that loan for the pickup truck? Just make sure that that's
I
done.
hope he did make a final payment to his dad. Isn't it funny? They found that out. Well, Joe did get money from somebody, and it was Hunter. Right?
Right.
Yeah, well, he's paying it back. No, he's getting money. He's getting paid off. You can see that. Yes, he is. He's getting paid off for the loan he gave to Hunter. My God, these people, they won't let go. They will not let go.
There's more?
There is.
What?
There is. We have to include our favorite former legislator in Wisconsin, Glenn Grothman. Yes. Let's listen to Glenny.
Okay.
We have proof that Joe Biden has lied before when he says that he never participated in things with his son, when we know that his son met with Joe Biden himself at the Four Seasons. We know that he eventually got some money, whether it was a loan or just a straight payoff, got some money from these shell corporations. So we keep digging. And like I said, I wish I could do nothing but spend time at the border, because that's where Joe Biden is ruining the country. But my goodness, when you get in this much money from foreign actors, and not only yourself, but your brother and your son are getting wealthy, it's something that Congress does have to look into.
Yeah. And
well, yes, we'll keep looking into that, even though we've resolved that issue. But Glenn is out there. Understand this about Glenn Grothman. He is known to be one of the most prolific speakers on the House floor.
Prolific.
He is out there. He's constantly giving speeches.
On C-SPAN?
Now, we never hear about it here in the state because they're really insignificant, and he's really not saying anything like he did here in the state.
Yeah.
But, you know, we sent these Republicans from Wisconsin to the federal government, and for some reason they are not doing anything at all. They're just, they're just figureheads.
Well, a bunch of them went over to Russia. Remember that on the 4th of July? Was Glenn? I don't think he was part of that.
No, he wasn't even.
No. He wanted to go, but he couldn't make it.
That's right.
Didn't make the grade.
That's right.
Couldn't get the passport, maybe.
But Dumb Ron Johnson did go.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you go to my blog, I've never called him anything but Dumb Ron Johnson.
Well, you can find that at democurmudgeon.blogspot.com.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dumb Ron Johnson, I've never given him the respect of the office of being a senator. I just can't do it. I cannot do it. If you remember that Ron Johnson got into the Senate race and beat Russ Feingold.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Because he opposed Obamacare. Now, we obviously know that worked out, but he was convinced that was the worst thing that could have ever happened, is allowing people to get health care at an affordable price, because you get a little help with your monthly premiums.
Certainly.
Supplemental help. And that is fantastic. And everybody is really, it's cut down dramatically. 11, 20 million people now have health care that didn't have it before. But Ron Johnson ran against that.
Right.
And that's why he's a senator.
Yes.
And the people in Wisconsin said, we can't have Obamacare.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing here is you got to keep in mind that if we want to go to a single-payer system, you're going to have to kind of give up a little bit of the old system, which, by the way, I don't think is very good.
Yeah,
and if you go to if you go to a universal system where you don't have to pay anything, you never have any bills, and you can see the doctor anytime you want, any doctor in any hospital anytime you want, that seems like a better deal than what you have to go through now.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, 6:49. We got to take a pause for the cause here, but Jonathan Turley is coming up. He's exploring Biden's family tree. What has he found out?
Oh my goodness!
Because they gotta go way back in time to find anything.
Find anything.
Wait till you hear this. Good. You got that? You got that?
I hope.
Turley? I got it here somewhere.
They don't make a Rolodex for these sheets of paper, right?
Right.
Okay, I'm going to find that. 1 minute. You got to have 2-minute breaks here. Here it is.
Which one?
Yeah.
What does it look like?
There it is. Legal pundit. It's 343. Cuts 343. It's on the outline.
Just that?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, 342. If you want to just have that ready. So. We heard that yesterday, but we could play it again.
$15 seconds.
this crazy pad. Man, it's a mad pad.
Welcome to the Mad Mad Radio WMDX. Look at that. I'm looking at this guy blowing leaves out there. Is he blowing leaves? 92.7 FM, yeah. 1580 AM.
Yeah.
Could it possibly be a problem? I don't see any
It
leaves.
looks like there's just one leaf out there.
State Street wasn't windy enough today, so he had to go out.
Apparently so.
Well, he's going to chase that leaf all the way down. All the way down to University Square.
He's on the time clock, so got to do something. 6:51, and boy, highs today around 70 degrees right now, 49. Tomorrow morning at this time, we will be at Short Stack Eatery live right down the street from us here at 301 West Johnson, where Johnson meets State. Oh, it's a great place with lots of pancakes and wonderful breakfast.
It is. It's a great ambiance. We're going to be in one of the seats over there next to the window.
By the window, yeah. So stop by tomorrow morning. It's going to be from 6 a.m. till 8 a.m. Short Stack Eatery with John and Gordy.
Coffee and pancakes. Yeah. I cannot wait.
Yes.
All right.
Coffee, pancakes, and conversation. Stop by, say hi.
All right. Okay. Okay.
All right.
So anyway, Jonathan Turley is a legal pundit. This guy's been around. People have talked to him ad nauseum. And he has exposed the Biden crime family's great-great-grandfather's past. This is truly dug up this stuff, boy.
So Biden was a part of a crime family?
Oh,
according
man,
to
way back,
Jonathan
way
Turley.
back when. According to Turley, this is what he tweeted.
Okay.
Because, this is where he makes all his big statements now on Twitter X.
Sure, of course.
He's
out there.
He said this, "The Hill is out with my column in a recent discovery of the criminal history of the great-great-grandfather of Joe Biden." What a discovery. What a discovery. It turns out that the evasion of accountability may be something of a family trait acquired through generations of natural selection.
It may be boy, this is kind of a reach already.
My God.
Where are we going with this?
Jonathan Turley. No, well, I did not go and pursue that article. Somebody responded and said Turley's account is either hacked or now just self-parody. And I happen to agree with that.
Yeah, maybe.
And Trump's history, wouldn't you know it? It's not a bragging point either. If we went back into Trump's past, Trump's grandfather was basically disowned by his native country because he refused to serve the military and ran a bordello. Yeah, well, that's not too bad, huh? The Trump's own father built his real estate empire by not always allowing black applicants to live in his buildings.
Right.
Well, that's not a good thing either. I would think that's a black mark.
Well, it is.
So, again, this Jonathan Turley thing is nothing of substance, so I'm not going to even look at that. But
so he's just making allegations about Joe Biden's great-great-grandfather may have been may have had something going on.
Right. A bordello.
But he didn't really.
He's a businessman.
Okay.
Right? So today, Trump is arguing that black voters should support him, even after he and his father both blocked black applicants from living in their buildings, in their housing projects. Okay. So that's never something to brag about. But of course, Trump wants the black vote now. And Trump said at the Black Conservative Federation Gala.
Yes.
And then I got indicted a second time, and a third time, and a fourth time. And a lot of people said that that's why the black people like me, because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against. And they actually viewed me as I'm being discriminated against. It's been pretty amazing.
No, they never did that. You can tell he's lying. He's just making this stuff up, obviously. Oh, well, yeah, the black people always come up to him and say, I get indicted all the time, I'm with you, man.
Yeah, I can relate.
We got problems here. Sure. We played this yesterday, but I thought we'd play it again here because it applies. This is from the Biden-Harris Communications
fact that this man is trying to appeal to black voters by citing his own criminal investigations and citing his own mugshot, I think tells us everything we need to know about how he sees us. Frankly, this man can try to do that, or he can try to hawk bootleg sneakers all he wants. But the problem for him is that his record is as loud as the shoes, right? Like, we know what life for black America was like under Donald Trump. The things that went up for black America under his presidency was the unemployment rate and the uninsured rate, also our collective blood pressure due to the just tirade of racist vitriol and the chaos that we saw every single day from him. And so obviously this is going to be a direct point of contrast for the duration of the campaign from now until November.
That's right. So let's just review that.
Okay.
If we can.
Yes.
Okay. Trump said, I got indicted, and a lot of people said, that's why the black people like me. And that's it. That's kind of the bottom line. Now, Aaron Ruper is a reporter, and he puts a lot of video out, including the speech that Trump gave the other day over the weekend. He said this: if Biden said anything approximating this in the New York Times, the New York Times would immediately release a special print edition with 12 columns about why he needs to retire. Right?
Right.
But indeed, no, these rantings, these lunatic thoughts and conspiracies are flowing from this guy's mouth, and we do not write him off as a possible lunatic running for president.
Right.
Come on, folks.
Yeah. Wake up.
Oh, my God.
Wake up and
smell the coffee.
Smell the coffee. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I could use a little more coffee, too. Right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Fresh coffee.
Fellas, don't drink that coffee.
What?
It is the caffeine.
The sugar level, the caffeine level, all conspires to make things a little squirrely.
I don't think there can ever be enough, too much caffeine.
Caffeine is just a sort of a general phenomenon that should be, spread and promulgated as many directions as possible.
You'd never guess. There was a fish in the percolator.
Yeah. Well, speaking of coffee, thank goodness we have fresh coffee right here.
I know.
But the UW students, they want to end the Starbucks contract. Have you heard this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they they want the university to end its licensing contract and lets Starbucks operate a cafe inside the Smith Residence Hall. Where is this going? They held a rally. They had a press conference to oppose the anti-labor reputation and numerous labor law violations of Starbucks.
Yeah.
We'll have to keep an eye on this. What are they going to do if they get rid of Starbucks?
Well, the thing is, they have if they do this, they have an alternative, I hope.
Do they?
They can't take coffee off the campus.
Okay. Coming up, news, weather, and sports. John and Gordy will be coming back after that.
Let the sun shine. It's the John and Gordy Show.
All right.
Fantastic, man. Ouch. Ow, 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 ow.
You all right? What happened? You got a cramp? Yeah. Push down. Push down with your foot.
A little bit. I gotta stretch my, whatever they call it.
Your glutes?
Hamstring.
Did we really get into, we didn't do with the Trump orders Alabama to allow in vitro. Did we really? No. We didn't really did that. And Christian nationalism, I don't think we hit it.
Did we miss those breaks?
Well, I don't know. All right, I need some more coffee.
Now, where is the outline? I don't even know where the outline is anymore.
Did I take yours?
Maybe. Yeah. Here, let me look at it anyway.
Yeah. I might have taken yours.
Okay. Christian nationalism dominates again.
Was it Dave Zweifel or Zweifel? How do you pronounce his last name?
Dave Zweifel. Zwie.
So he still writes columns occasionally.
Yeah.
He wrote one about that story that we were talking about the this lady who got rejected. Well, those 4 people that got rejected, but especially this one who was.
Oh yeah. I didn't see. Yeah, I did not.
He basically.
Barbara Lawton. They got rid of our lieutenant governor.
Right, like she doesn't qualify.
Yeah, I mean it's just total revenge, right?
Yeah. I wonder if he.
They are small, petty people, man. They are small, petty people. All right, let's do that. Trump orders Alabama. Okay, I got everything on one sheet. Very cool. All right, where are we? Close. 3 minutes.
And then Christian nationalism dominates the Republican agenda. Dominates Alabama Supreme Court decision. Was that the other? That's all part of the same story.
I keep thinking, I'm listening.
What?
I'm listening.
Yeah.
And, I just don't understand. I don't get the election races, the polls. Following who's saying what, running for office. I don't get that.
What do you mean?
I just don't understand the interest in it.
Because they got nothing else to talk about. The polls.
You can't even see the Capitol. It's like there's no Capitol.
You took the Capitol away?
The Capitol's gone.
Somebody stole the rotunda.
You can't see it. There's just a big bright spot over there where it used to be.
It's disappeared.
It's gone. It's just glowing ashes in a hole in the ground. Michigan primary.
Well, that's right.
Is it the only state that is primary? Holy crap.
I gotta see this one down here. Let me borrow this again. The what?
Yeah, I did. I don't know. It's a little brutal, Yeah. I don't know where to go with it. My son brought it up to me too, and I thought, yikes.
What is the story? Did I miss this?
A military member set themselves on fire.
Oh, that, yeah. Well, that's a throwback to Vietnam.
Yeah.
Remember when that Buddhist monk set himself on fire? Yeah.
That image is burned in my memory.
Yeah, the image of that was just incredible.
I kept visualizing, one of our great rock stars sitting around with the guru and setting themselves on fire.
Yeah, I don't think that's the way to go. No. Doesn't seem like a good
That's
option.
not a good thing.
To get attention.
That's why it's never caught on, by the way. That's why it's never caught on. All right.
15 seconds.
No. Stretch it.
Transmitted by wire. Here is the latest news brought into your own living room.
You'll be hard to satisfy with anything less.
Let's give them something to talk about.
Talk is cheap.
Kib. Always gossiping.
It's the John and Gordy Show.
This is Hi-Fi Plus.
And that's the way it is.
We'll do it live.
Only on Mad Radio 92.7 WMDX. Take it away, boys.
Okay, we will. Do it. It's 49 degrees this morning. Welcome back to the John and Gordy Show.
Mad Radio WMDX, 92.7 FM and 1580 AM. And I think the AM, can you hear that now?
Yeah, sure.
Did they turn up the power already? You think daylight?
They've cranked it up.
We're in critical hours right now.
Okay.
I think 250 watts we're running at right now.
Fantastic.
Wow. Okay.
And you can always get a hold of us through the Civic Media app.
That's right.
You can call us or text us, and you can also do that on social media.
Yes. And our phone number is 608-879-8255. You can call us or text us.
To be honest, I'm really not even quite sure how people get their media now.
What do you mean?
You know, let's ask our Gen Zer, Sam, in the studio. Yeah. Well, what do you think? How do people listen to this kind of radio show?
Yeah, most of them.
Do they at all?
Well, if I'm listening to WMDX, usually I listen over the radio. I have a radio in my kitchen. I usually use.
Okay. There you go.
All right. So that's probably the way that people are still doing it.
Right. Madison. Yeah. I mean, my mom doesn't listen to the program as much as I'd like her to, but she lives up in Wausau, so she listens over the app whenever she does, or the website.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. And by the way, you know, again, today 70 degrees is the high, and then it's going to drop by more than 50 degrees overnight. It's going to get down to about 17 tomorrow morning. A huge cold front, a massive cold front. It's going to usher in all this cold air all across the Midwest. Everybody's going to be running around with their hair on fire, slipping and sliding. There's going to be a little snow, ice. It's going to be chaos tomorrow morning. But we're offering you some relief.
The ground will swell. Huge crevices will open up.
Earthquakes, mudslides, fire. But you can just forget about all your troubles and stop by the Short Stack Eatery. This time tomorrow morning, we'll be there from 6 to 8 a.m. with a short stack of pancakes and coffee and conversation. Join us for our very first live remote John and Gordy at the Short Stack Factory or Eatery. I can't read my own writing. It's right at it's right down the street here. It's really
so that's what everybody should do after the panic. Come on,
listen, it's not going to be that. The weather people always amp it up. So you
really you think so?
It's going to be cold, but that's about it. Short Stack Eatery. We'll be there from 6 to 8 a.m. You can have a hot cup of coffee and enjoy some pancakes and say hi. Yeah.
Now on the less entertaining side,
Yeah.
I'm going to bring everybody down.
Oh,
every once in a while, we like to talk about Christian nationalism, rather, and we're going to talk about it again because it's just not going away, and it's getting worse. And there are little bits and pieces all over where we're injecting Christian nationalism in our schools.
This is a shiny new object for the Republican Party. You've got nothing else to go with, so now it's Christian nationalism.
Yep. In vitro fertilization providers in Alabama, they paused their treatments. Many of the clinics are. They're sending patients scrambling to make other plans. If the state Supreme Court ruled that frozen embryos are legally considered children.
So how does Christian nationalism tie into this?
Here's the thing, I mean, that you can't run a country based on the Bible. You can't do that. It doesn't work, and we're finding it out from an interpretation that says frozen embryos are children now, it doesn't work. This stretches. Well, okay, it just doesn't work.
Even Donald Trump came out and said, "Well, you know, if this takes away in vitro fertilization, he doesn't want to go that way."
Well, he doesn't want to go that way now because it'll hurt his election.
Yes,
that's the only reason he's saying that.
Exactly.
One woman who's interested in vitro fertilization, she said, "I freaked out. I started crying. I felt in an extreme limbo state." That's what happened to so many other families. This one doctor at Alabama Fertility, I think he summed it up well with this.
Okay.
The moments that our patients are wanting to have by growing their families, Christmas mornings with grandparents, kindergarten, going in the first day of school with little backpacks, all that stuff is what this is about. Those are the real moments that this ruling could deprive patients of. And that's really it, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
The dean of Temple University's Beasley School of Law in Philadelphia sees the ruling as emblematic of the long march toward fetal personhood, and that's really what this is all about. But it's you can't possibly think a frozen embryo is a person.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Here's what the Chief Justice said. His name is Tom Parker. Sounds kind of Christian nationalist, doesn't it?
Well,
Tom Parker. Okay. This is the Chief Justice. This is how he's thinking. Human life cannot be wrongfully destroyed without incurring the wrath of the holy God.
Okay.
And then he invoked the book of Genesis and the prophet Jeremiah and quoted at length from the writings of the 16th and 17th century theologians. How wonderful, huh? That's all part of our laws now.
Sure, dusting off the books there. Yeah.
When judges, this is him again, when judges don't rule in the fear of the Lord, everything falls apart. The whole world is coming unglued. No, because of you. Now, you can't, obviously this is not working. We can't live like this. It's repressive. But again, this is the Chief Justice quoting from the Bible, and now it is entered into his law decision in regards to frozen embryos being considered children. It is unbelievable, and I don't think anybody else can wrap their heads around this. We're all trying to understand.
Is the Alabama Supreme Court, are they aware of the separation of church and state? Isn't that a thing in the Constitution? I believe so.
Well, they say that, and then they also say that their religion informs what they do in life and the laws that they write. So that's their little in by denying it and then kind of going in through the back door.
Yeah.
Right?
That's all right.
Alabama just put to death a prisoner with nitrogen, from what I remember. So, that doesn't conform to Justice Parker's religion, where he once wrote, all human beings, even the ones on death row, have the image of God, and their lives cannot be destroyed without effacing his glory.
Well, yeah, it's one of the 10 Commandments, I believe. Thou shalt not kill. I think that's still in there. That hasn't been amended.
I think so. I think it's still there. Yeah. Since the megas don't really follow this stuff, they're really not going to know much about this and what's happening and the details of it. And they're also going to believe the lie that Lindsey Graham said recently. Cut 344. Check that out.
All right. Haven't heard from Lindsey for a while.
No.
It's been kind of laying low.
The last thing we'll do is shut down a fertility clinic to have a child that you desperately want. And the last thing we'll ever do is try to outlaw birth control. So when Hillary Clinton talks about that, that tells me they've run out of things to say about their own agenda. It's BS, and it's not going to work.
No, it is. It is going to work.
Was that Lindsey from a while back?
That's still Lindsey today. Okay. We never know exactly, where he's going to be on a position. All right. So here's the thing. It's surreal that this is happening in 2024, okay? Now, under Roe, every part of the system worked. The medical community worked with expectant mothers.
Right.
They reined in the possible abuses and were guided by existing laws when it comes to prenatal care. It worked. Everything worked. Christian nationalist judges and justices, not doctors, are now legislating medical treatments based on their strict biblical beliefs, written thousands of years ago. And, the Bible was written well after any of the events that they are writing about happened. So you have to think century after century after century, things, the stories, everything changes. Social norms change. And so back then, these were their social norms. Are we supposed to bring back those social norms? No, we don't have to bring those back. They're in the past.
Well, and well, you're exactly right. I mean, back then, the religious leaders were the leaders.
Yes.
There weren't governments. There were kings and queens and different systems. And so that was all they had.
Exactly.
They had the 10 Commandments, the Bible, or whatever religious documents that had been passed down to them before governments even began to be formed.
And it's well known that the Bible, Bible was when they first started writing the Bible verses at least a century after everything had happened. So that's a long time of verbal communications.
That's right. Yeah, telling stories before they wrote things down, and then a lot of the scriptures weren't found and still are lost to history.
So they're trying to save the human life. Okay, this is what it's all about, because human beings are in the image of God. All right, so we know that. This is the stance now. This is what the Christian nationalists want us to believe. So on the opposite end of all of that, where they are espousing saving every life, we have Republicans who are saying that we need to have public executions. Then we're going to get to that in the next break.
Okay.
Because this is really
public executions.
This will blow your mind.
Okay.
And we're talking about Charlie Kirk here.
Oh, boy. Well, we got a couple of minutes. We got a minute here.
We do?
Yeah, just a minute.
That's not enough time. The cut itself is about a minute and a half.
Well, then let's hold on to that.
We're going to have to hold on to it.
We'll hold on to that thought.
All right.
But I can remind everybody of one thing, John.
Yeah.
That tonight there is basketball on Civic Media Network.
Course.
Yeah, I know. Kind of a hard switch here. Yeah, pushing in the clutch. Forgot to do that. Shifting gears here. But Wisconsin at Indiana tonight. 5 o'clock broadcast. You can listen on WFHR. You can listen on a number at WRCE in Richland Center, WLAK, and you can just go to the Civic Media app. Catch basketball tonight, Wisconsin at Indiana. 5 o'clock is the broadcast time. Okay?
All right. Well, I jotted that down. I've been, writing everything down that you've been saying about sports here on the show.
Good deal.
Because I follow every moment of it.
I appreciate your doing that.
I thought you were going to say, I appreciate your condescension. Thanks.
All right. Let's get right into it.
Collector's Plaque concealed secret Twitter accounts from investigators. This is getting worse.
What is this now? Twitter account, what? They just had Hunter Biden's going to do a closed-door deposition tomorrow. It's like, we got to wrap this up and get the hell out.
Yeah.
Get this out of here. Going to sit for a closed-door deposition.
See this? Fake Collector's Plaque concealed secret Twitter account
from investigators. Oh, that's right. I heard. Oh man, who's the guy? Chesbro. Yeah. There's some more shit coming out.
10 seconds.
The thing is, I don't know what's new or old.
No, this is brand new.
Christian nationalist America.
I don't think those are the right words for that
Doesn't
James
quite
Brown song.
fit in there, does it?
No. Didn't make the cut.
All right, Mad Radio, WMDX, 92.7 FM and 1580 AM. We're talking about, everybody's image is that image of God. And we must preserve every life, even frozen embryos that are now considered children. So on the opposite end of that, the megas can have it both ways. And
well,
they do.
They want to televise executions? That's what you were talking
Charlie
about.
Kirk, he's the head of Turning Point USA. This guy, this is one of the dumbos that made it big on the right.
He's an influencer.
Yeah, he's a big influencer.
Yeah.
He earnestly proposes extending death penalties to more crimes, televising executions, and forcing kids to watch. That's right, forcing kids to watch.
This doesn't seem like it's a great idea.
Oh, of course.
To me. I just,
the big plus for him is that he'll enjoy that as well. Let's play this track. This is a little bit long, but it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. He has 3 other people on his Thought Crime podcast, and they all, you think at least one would have some opposition to this, right?
Yes.
But all these dunderheads not only agree with Charlie Kirk, but they have suggestions and they seek out, death on the internet. So let's check this out. This is cut 360.
As far as other death penalties, I think what some of those guys did to Donald Trump to use the instruments of government to destroy the constitutional order, that should be under consideration. Okay.
And it was by firearm.
Yeah, that's how you should. By the way, this is my other problem with death penalty. It takes too long, too many
too
appeals.
Expensive.
It should be public. It should be quick. It should be televised.
Well, this can't be right, can it? The last execution in France was guillotine in 1977.
100% true. They used the guillotine.
Until 77?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
There's videotape of it.
Honestly, that's like what we should be doing, and I agree. It should be public
and
televised. Public square.
By the way, you could
force
fund the government
to watch it.
You could have brought to you by Coca-Cola. And no, I'm not kidding. By the way, I would totally tune in to see some pedo get their head chopped off.
Oh, you would. Wow.
Convicted by a jury
By the
or
way,
peers.
that's going to get.
No, I'm talking about a real thing. I'm not talking
all
about
executions in Belarus are by firearm. That's not a choice or anything.
Andrew's saying don't make kids watch it, and I think the absolute
I think
opposite.
at a certain age, it's an initiation.
16, if you can drive, you can watch it.
No, but hold on.
Not even 16.
If all of a sudden you look at some of these savages, like in Indiana, there was this guy that went in and killed a pregnant woman and her 3 kids.
Yeah.
And you know what? I want to watch that execution. That'll make my day better. I want to see him on a public block and get him be publicly executed. And I think that would be justice. You think children should have, you should see it? What is the age? At what age should you start to see public executions?
16.
I think you could do it earlier. I think you maybe at age 12,
whenever
6th grade or so.
Beautiful.
You are a person, they're old enough to, you don't need to really wallow in it and have them be broken on a wheel or anything. But if it was something like chopping, if we had a guillotine or something.
Yeah.
I think it's the age where they can't be, I think there's too early and you become desensitized to maybe like this. I think it's when you can actually embrace.
But it should also be taken in a holy way.
The meaning.
I don't mean holy in a bad way. I mean that this is heavy.
Bluntly, we have kids who are 14 who are committing carjackings
100%.
in cities and doing bad stuff. And I think if you sent the message to them, if you do a bad crime, you will die, and it will be like this, and that will be you.
That is just sweet, isn't it?
Wow.
That's the that's the Gen Zers right there.
That's just
where
sick
they're going.
and sad.
That is incredible, isn't it?
It's
awful. It just got worse and worse and worse, and not one of them objected. And
well, they're trying to top each other. The grossness. And,
they want kids to watch us 14-year-olds.
Really?
The thing here is that they're protecting the children from books in schools, in libraries, and yet they want them to watch the bloody death of somebody getting executed.
I wonder if any of those guys have kids. I mean, really? And families.
They don't look like they could have kids. No. They're too young for that. And, the way they talk, obviously, they don't have kids. and it just goes in the opposite direction of all human beings have the image of God, and their lives cannot be destroyed without effacing His glory. So I guess you can on the mega side, you can have it both ways. No matter what you want, that's the way it is. All right. And we got somebody who texted us, right, Gordy?
That's right. These Christian nationalists, we're back to the talking about the embryos here. These Christian nationalists don't really believe that embryos are children. Here's how you can tell. Ask them if they came upon a building that was on fire and there was a room with 2 crying babies and a box of 5,000 frozen embryos, and they could only take the babies or the embryos. They'd choose the babies every time.
That's right.
Okay.
That's the bottom line, essentially.
Yeah. That's probably, that's
probably
true.
And not all those fertilized embryos basically will be people.
No.
And now they're trying to figure out what to do with the extra embryos. Once one is successful, what happens? And that's why they're holding everything up. No one knows where to go with this because it doesn't make any sense if you try to rule upon whatever a theologian decides is right or wrong based on the Bible. You can't do anything in real life. These are all fantasies if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah. It's 7:27. Hey, we've got a couple of minutes here. Let's go to the phones. Mark is on the line with a question or a comment. Good morning, Mark.
Yeah, it is just, I guess we shouldn't be shocked anymore with these guys. I mean, that's when they try to invoke the founders, but they forget, the founders like, Jefferson, really opposed, the religiosity in government. I mean, Jefferson, in fact, actually took the Bible and just reduced it, the New Testament down to the moral teachings of Jesus. Cut out all the miracles, and at that, and made a comment about it didn't trouble him that if a man worships 20 gods, one or none. I think he made the comment, it doesn't pick his pocket nor break his leg. James Madison, the father of our Constitution, or one of the fathers, actually opposed governmental funding of religion at all. And let's remember that 100, that I think in 100 some plus about 120, 30 years prior to our our colony, our independence from Great Britain, there was the 30 Years' War over in Europe, where the Protestants and the Catholics were happily slaughtering one another.
Yeah.
By the millions, that over tiny technical differences in their interpretation of the Bible. The Puritans were happily, in this continent, the Puritans were happily slaughtering people that they thought they didn't agree with. I mean, they were hanging Quakers for goodness sake. I mean, is that what they want to go back to? Who's going to interpret the Bible now? I mean, you're going to have an official committee of men like Charlie Kirk deciding that, well, we're going to use the Lutheran Bible, or we're going to use the Catholic Bible, or we'll use the Assemblies of God Bible, or the
Chief Justice Tom Parker's version of it
from Alabama.
Right? Yeah,
it's just something else, guys.
Yeah, it is. What about cruel and unusual punishment?
Yes,
that's in our Constitution, by the way.
Mark, thank you for your call. We've got news, weather, sports, and coming up, Republican dissenters sinking a GOP flat tax.
It's the John and Gordy Show.
Sports instead of Pam Yankee.
Yeah.
My bad. Sports instead of Pam Yankee. Couldn't she throw a little sports in with the farm? Ask Pam.
Yeah, why does
she can do sports. Huh?
I don't know.
That's what I was told. She's not in the half hours. No, Pam.
That's where she was.
Pam is in the half hours.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say. It's just that I promoted news, weather, sports.
What did you just promote?
News, weather, and sports. Republican dissenters sink a GOP flat tax.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Got it right here. You can.
All right.
Okay. Has that got a cut with it? I don't think so. This is in Kansas. We haven't talked about Kansas for
I know.
Oh, what's it going to be like at the short stack tomorrow? It's going to be you, me, and a couple of cooks.
I don't know where my story on that one. I didn't even
Just
have
use
the
this
story
one.
on it.
All right, just use that one.
Must have
Maybe we've gotten to the point where we just have way too much stuff. Let's sort it all out.
Oh,
after
this
the
is
show.
good. I must have it. I just walked by it, as I always do. Get rid of this. Wow.
Really?
I'm liking that. I'm liking it a lot. All right.
Did we burn through this page of all these different cuts?
No, we didn't.
What
And
the
I've
heck is all
got that. I've still got that.
Okay.
Still got that page. We're going to go through that from Short Stack, by the way.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I thought that would be kind of fun, right?
Hey, how are we going to... There was one thing where you said if John had his laptop and I had my laptop, we needed another cable or something, or we needed one other thing. Do you remember that? I don't know. I'm wondering maybe for the texts. I'm just going to have my laptop just like usual with StreamYard and then the rundown that I usually have.
Well, you both can use your laptops for the cameras, and then one of you just is muted, probably John, and then you're unmuted because you're...
Okay.
Do we know how to set that up?
Yeah.
How?
All you have to do is...
I can go down and help you set that up.
Yeah.
I had a thought also that I could be the coffee guy. In one of the 15-minute segments, I could just leave and come down with like a thermos full of coffee.
Well, they'll have coffee there, but
Yeah, I
yes,
know.
right. Yeah. Would that be weird though? What if we just suddenly dropped off the air or something? And then if you're with us and then suddenly
well, that shouldn't happen.
Well, what if we're getting phone calls though?
Yeah, I guess that's the only other thing.
Hopefully I hope we get a few calls.
Should be smooth sailing during.
We need one more producer, actually. Well, Catherine will be there, I think. I think she said.
I think she's going to come down, of course. She's got to come down there.
Yeah.
Or else. Okay. Republican dissenters sink GOP flat tax. And I want to go.
Biden, man.
30 seconds.
He was having ice cream at an ice cream shop, and somebody asked him about a ceasefire, and he said, "Yeah, I think we've got something in place by Monday." And it was one of those things that I thought, "Oh God, why did you say that?
Yeah.
Why did you
10
say
seconds.
that?" Israel surprised. Biden expressed hope for ceasefire by Monday. Here.
The birds are chirping, the sun is coming up, and the coffee's brewing. It's another beautiful morning in Madison, Wisconsin. What could make this day any more perfect? How about the John and Gordy Show on Mad Radio 92.7 FM WMDX?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It is. It's beautiful. It's going to be a fantastic day, unbelievable day, and then it's just going to, collapse. Everything is just going to go south.
It's going to get up to 70 degrees today.
I know.
And then tonight, this huge, massive cold front that's going to just go right through the middle section of the country. It's going to change everything. Going to drop 50 degrees tonight.
Our roads are going to crumble.
50 degrees. Things are going to be crazy tomorrow.
Foundations will crack.
The Earth's crust is going to just disassemble
That's right,
itself.
the Earth's crust.
Yeah.
How will it be able to maintain
the tidal waves.
This is just, I don't see much good.
Oh, the humanity
coming
of it all.
I hope they're wrong.
Of course.
Are we
you can
almost
count
done,
on them being
Are we
wrong.
almost done with the weather roulette wheel at all?
Yeah, did we get that
The weather
fixed?
roulette wheel is complete.
Yeah,
Yes.
fantastic. You know,
Well, let's see what the current temperature is.
Well, okay. All
Okay,
right.
you
Let's
ready?
see-
Let me
let's see
get
is.
it set
I
up
thought you
here.
said it was ready.
No,
There
it's
we
ready.
go.
It's ready. You
Okay.
just got to reach
Hit it.
over.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Put the ball in there. Round and round it goes. Let's see what the current temperature is. And
Wait, hold on.
Oh.
There you go. 48 degrees.
Boy.
Fantastic.
Here it is.
And
February
that really does work,
27th.
doesn't it?
It does.
Well, of course,
it's
no one's
amazingly
been able to
accurate.
test it.
I'm so glad we have it back. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. All right, let's get to that flat tax deal.
What
and
is
I'm,
this?
I'm bringing this up. This is from Kansas. I got to bring this up because the Republicans really wanted a flat tax.
Yeah.
And Governor Evers says there is no chance we're going to a flat tax.
Okay.
None whatsoever. There is never a good reason for a flat tax. It doesn't make sense. It
Really?
gets rid of the progressive tax system that we have.
Yeah.
Because those people who have succeeded in life are making all the money.
Yes.
And they need to pay forward. They need to help raise the boats of everybody else. That's why we have a progressive tax gap. Okay.
Right.
That's it.
That's the way it is.
So
That's the way it
flat
should be.
tax, a really bad idea. And guess
Flat
what?
tax.
The Republicans,
Yeah.
who wanted the flat tax in Kansas,
Yeah.
voted down
They changed their
the
minds.
flat tax in Kansas. That's right.
They pushed it for a long time.
It was not something they wanted. A Republican plan to cut taxes in Kansas died in the GOP-controlled legislature when enough members concluded, well, let's see here, that it would favor wealthy taxpayers too much and upheld the Democratic governor's veto. There you go.
So they saw the light.
They saw the light.
Yeah.
They did not see the light here in Wisconsin. Now, isn't that funny how some Republicans can see, well, it does benefit the wealthy, and that doesn't look good for us.
Mm-hmm.
But here in Wisconsin, they're unashamed. Absolutely unashamed. It is shocking. Will we hold these guys accountable? You bet. We have new redistricting math. I am telling you, this is going to change the complexion of this state once and for all, only if you go out and vote.
That's right.
You got to vote. You got to vote. This
That's what it's-
November, you got to get out there and
Yep.
vote.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing.
We've worked hard on trying to get this Supreme Court to do just what we wanted them to do, and that is to declare those maps gerrymandered. Of course,
Right.
everybody in the country knows that these are the most gerrymandered maps, even though the Republicans act like, no, they aren't. No, we did it in secret, and we had a law firm do it, and we wouldn't tell you about it. We wouldn't show the maps to anybody, but no, they're not gerrymandered. Come on. Yeah, and then Robin Voss would wrinkle his nose like he does, you know. I don't know. I don't know why people think they're gerrymandered. You know, and he'd wrinkle his nose.
Should have you do impressions more often.
Yeah, I didn't know you did impressions, John. This is a new side. I've never seen this of you before. A Robin Voss impression.
Well, you know, I'm trying.
You're breaking through. Breaking through.
I've been watching
Good.
this guy for too long.
Apparently.
He's driving me nuts.
So the maps are going to change everything.
Yeah.
This coming election, you got a chance to get out and vote and actually have your vote count.
Now, Governor Laura
Okay.
Kelly down there in Kansas warned that the GOP plan would cause budget shortfall's within 5 years.
Oh.
Okay,
really?
I mean, that was not a good thing either. And by the way, we said that here in Wisconsin to our gerrymandered Republicans. They didn't care. Come on. Oh, man, come on. In fact, a lot of the Republicans down there said that too. Republicans dismissed her projections and said their plan helped everyone. And that's what they said here.
Mm-hmm.
But not every Republican in Kansas thought that was a good idea. It seemed to go to the wealthy. No. Wow. Oh, okay. So exposed in another state. And now we know the truth.
Yeah.
That it does help the wealthy. Republicans have stated that unequivocally in Kansas.
Well, thank goodness Kansas got it together and they rejected that.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Things are better in Kansas now.
Better in Kansas, but in Tennessee they're a little afraid of heads of lettuce.
Now, why should we care about what's going on in Tennessee? They're off the hook.
Tennessee's crazy.
It's
and
nuts.
I watch them. The Tennessee Holler is fantastic. You should subscribe to them. Follow them on Twitter X because they're just they've got it all. And Tennessee's crazy. That's what happens when you have a super majority of Republicans. They can do damn well anything they want. But anyway, here's this crazy guy. Let's just play this cut. It's 3:46, and he's worried about having vaccines in food.
Okay,
I'm not kidding.
Vaccines in food.
Vaccines in food. Let's check that
346 looks like it's something different.
Okay. Can you look around that somewhere and see if
345
mRNA in lettuce?
Okay.
Someplace? No.
Standing
big
by.
Story. This is really a big one. Everybody's on the edge of their chair. They're freaking out, right? Everybody's saying, "Oh my God,
Sam's hair is turning gray.
This can't be happening."
They're shaking his head.
God, I hope they come up with it. I hope they find this thing.
Well,
I hope they find it.
You know what? While Sam's looking for that,
okay, all right.
I got another story here.
You do.
This is something to ponder over your bowl of cornflakes this morning.
Yeah.
And your Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
Kellogg's CEO says, here's a good idea. Inflation, it's gone way down. It's backed way off. Things are getting, back to normal as far as, at least closer to normal as far as some pricing of things. But one thing that is not back down is the price of food. And so food is still fairly expensive. In fact, it's up about 28% since the pandemic, and it really has not come down all that much. The CEO of Kellogg's, you've heard of Kellogg's. They make cornflakes, they make Rice Krispies, Fruit Loops.
They've been around for a long
Raisin
time.
Bran, they make all those things. He says, how about having cereal for dinner? That way you can save money, and you can, and they'll sell more Fruit Loops that way. Do you think about the cost of cereal for a family versus what they might otherwise do? That's going to be much more affordable. His advice, John, has not landed very well with people that are frustrated by spending about 26% more on groceries since 2020. So this isn't going over well to eat, cornflakes for dinner. That's
right.
The CEO's suggestion from Kellogg's.
Yeah, I know.
In Battle Creek, Michigan, that's, they're thinking, we need to sell more cereal because now this is a true story.
Yeah.
The other day, I stopped at a convenience store. I wanted to grab a couple of things. I was on the road a little bit. I was here in Madison, actually, on the east side. And I thought, well, I'm going to get a little bit of milk here. I'm going to get some Rice Krispies and a couple of granola bars or whatever. I went up with this box of Rice Krispies, a small box, the size you would see in the grocery store, but the smallest size
version. Yeah.
I went up to the clerk, said, okay, he's dialing things up. He's charging me for the milk. He's charging me for the granola bars. Then he goes, do you really want that box of Rice Krispies?
Wow.
I said, well, yeah. He goes, it's $14.
No.
I'm not kidding you. $14
What?
for a box of Rice Krispies at a convenience store. It was the small families.
Yeah.
I said, no, I think I'll put that aside.
That is truly jaw-dropping.
But, kudos to him for warning me.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
And he works there, and he goes, yeah, this place is just a ripoff.
Oh my God. What is happening?
Well, he said it's because it was across from a trailer park over there by the airport.
Well, that's good.
And he said, people from the trailer park come over here all the time and buy little things, but they don't want to walk another 3 blocks, or they're elderly and they can't walk another 3 blocks to the Walgreens or someplace that might have a little bit more reasonable prices. So this guy is, the owner of the convenience store, and it was a mom and pop one, wasn't the big chain that everybody's thinking about. They would not do that, I don't think.
No one would do that.
$14 for a box of Rice Krispies. I said, thank you very much. Let's put that one aside. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I know. But price gouging's still going on.
Well,
with food.
We now call it greedflation.
That's it.
And we know that's why the prices of products went way up.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no hiding it anymore. And those prices are continuing to stay up there. And the boxes, of course, are getting smaller.
Yeah, now you can still
and lighter.
Well, they are, and now the cereal boxes $6, $7. I mean, even that's too much. Yeah. It's way too much.
Yeah, it's way too much.
Get this, in McDonald's, there's a McDonald's, where is this? In Darien, Connecticut, where a Big Mac meal costs $18.
Yeah. Wow.
For a McDonald's Big Mac meal.
That is
$18.
That's
for a Big Mac, a little
wrong?
box of fries.
Something wrong with that, right?
And a Coke. Yeah.
Wow.
It's price gouging.
It is. It is.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, did you ever find
getting back to the head of lettuce with vaccines in it?
Okay. Did we find that?
No, we did not find the
that's
actual
sad.
cut, sadly. But I do have the story right here in front of me.
Okay.
Basically, what he said was when this Scott Sepicki, he's a Republican in Tennessee, he's a state representative, and he said when you go into a grocery store, you should know this head of lettuce is a head of lettuce. The head of lettuce right next to it could have a vaccine in it, though. And what he wants to do is he wants to have a vaccine warning on foods in the vegetable department that warn you if there's a vaccine included in the food.
Okay, I missed something here. What do you?
There's something wrong, definitely, right? A vaccine in food. Now, there's testing going on in other places of the country where they're trying to put like a vaccine substance in the food, like
what, are they shooting them up with needles
or feeding animals.
A head of lettuce?
It's
crazy.
Prevent worms and stuff like that. They put it in, feedstock.
Okay.
But in this case, it might also be in human food. No, it's a really bad idea. It doesn't work. And here are a couple of mRNA vaccines have a very short duration in living organisms and degrades. It's also unlikely it would survive the cooking process to hypothetically be passed along to the consumers. Okay, this is what experts are saying. AeroFarms co-founder David Rosenberg, owner of an indoor vertical farming company that grows leafy greens, was discussing early research into growing proteins that could theoretically be used for vaccines. Not putting the vaccine in the food.
Right.
And so not making edible vaccines that would be on the store shelf. He said nothing could be further from the truth on this.
Okay.
They're producing food to create vaccines, not to put vaccines in the food. Okay? Just to be clear.
Just make that
but
distinction.
Not the Tennessee State Representative Scott Sepicki. He's got it all confused in his head. Producing edible vaccines is tricky in terms of getting the right dosage, you think, and delivering the medicine through the gut. Because maybe the gut isn't the best place to put the medicine in this case. And while some researchers have explored the possibility of growing edible vaccines, an appealing idea for use in countries where vaccine storage can be an issue, that concept is far, far from being proven. Way out there. So this guy is Mr.
Yeah. It's crazy.
He's off the Richter scale. He's off the reality map. Okay.
I feel sorry.
So that's
for him.
what's happening. It was funny to hear him say this stuff, though, because you really want to hear his thought process.
Yeah. What's he thinking?
But that's what he was thinking, and that's why it's a bad idea. You can't get the right dosage. Can you imagine eating the whole head of lettuce because you had to get the right dose?
Yikes.
It's not going to work.
7:49 coming up. A judge rejects the Death Star law, and we've got leftovers, this, that, some tidbits. Coming right back. Fred Upton.
The Death Star.
See this guy? Former congressman. Great guy, Republican. We used to have him on the morning show in South Bend all the time. His niece is Kate Upton, the beautiful model. But Fred, good guy. But he finally stopped running as a Republican because he couldn't take it anymore. It's like, I can't be doing this. And he's been trying to preach to the Republican Party. He was like, oh, Trump is taking us right over the cliff, you guys.
Where is my Death Star? Here it is. Trash.
Did you find the story?
Yep.
What is it? Judicial. Here it is, right here.
An old one. It's oldie.
Take out the papers and the trash.
I'm sick of looking at them. Trash.
The trash of society.
Time to take out the trash! Trash cans are for garbage, Jimmy.
Trash, as in what's all around us.
Oh, I love trash. Anything dirty or dingy or dusty. Anything ragged
I've been blowing the dust off of this one.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Float over this way.
Ah.
Hey.
Man.
Okay.
Well, I've been carrying this around for a long time.
Some leftovers?
It is a leftover.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Share
I thought
with
it was, I just couldn't let go. I had to bring this up.
Okay.
A proposed Texas law nicknamed the Death Star Law. You just gotta love that, right?
Who comes up with these? Do they workshop these
little
at the
Star Wars
committee meetings?
reference there.
Okay.
It has been deemed unconstitutional by a Texas judge due to its effects on local ordinances and regulations.
Well, what is the Death Star law?
A law that was deemed unconstitutional in Texas? Wow.
Wow. That
It had to be bad.
Mhm.
It had to be bad. The Death Star law stopped, get this,
Okay.
cities in Texas from making their own rules in areas like government, finance, and work. That's right. Everything.
Drawing the line.
It kind of took everything away. Local government, not anymore. Not with the Death Star law.
Okay.
Law was named Death Star, made it harder for the cities to run by Democrats. That's the whole point of this. They wanted to target Democratic cities.
Okay.
One online user stated, Democratic-led cities will cause the ruination of America if not kept in check. So the Death Star law was proposed. The person who made the Death Star law, Representative Republican Dustin Burrows, disagreed with the judge in his verdict. Burrows posted, the judgment today by a Democrat Travis County District Judge is not worth the paper it's printed on. And the Texas Supreme Court will ultimately rule this law to be completely valid, taking all of the local governments away. That's always a good thought. And get this, after his post, he also mentioned the desire of some businesses to have their own private courts.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Businesses
Yeah.
having their own courts.
He mentioned that he might put a law together where businesses have their own courts because, they're different. Right? You can't. Look.
What are you going to do?
What does my T-shirt say?
Hang on. I can't read it from here. So I'll believe corporations are people when Texas executes one.
There you go.
Yeah, corporations are not people.
No, you can't execute them.
The Supreme Court ruled that they are people.
You can't throw them in jail.
Yeah. Right.
So anyway, businesses want their own private court now.
Yeah.
And he says, I now better understand why the business community was clamoring for the creation of specialized business courts. Well, no, really? Come on, Republicans.
So they can make up their own rules?
Exactly.
Jeez.
Yes.
God.
So
how could that ever get anywhere? That's just stupid.
Well, this is like a full admission.
Well,
that
Texas is
that they certainly do serve business.
Yeah.
In Texas,
they're off the rails completely.
The Death Star law. You got to love something like that, don't you?
It's crazy,
man.
Crazy.
Well,
okay. What else have we got in the leftovers bin?
The leftovers bin has this too, and this is mega donor billionaires taking control of the mega public agenda. Okay, because they're rich, they own us.
Yeah, the billionaires.
I thought this was really revealing. Okay, just check out this part of the story. Jeff Yass, the founder of market making firm Susquehanna Group, donated $6 million to Greg Abbott's campaign.
That seems like a lot.
All right.
Okay.
Yass is a GOP mega donor worth $29 billion and has been particularly active. And this is the part I want you to just make a note of.
Okay.
He's been particularly active supporting school choice programs in which taxpayer money is used to pay for private education. This $29 billion guy wants the taxpayers to pay for his private school.
Wow. Wow. Why wouldn't he just
Wow.
peel off a check to them and donate to the
I have never
private
been
school?
able to wrap my head around this. You know, we have the U-Lines. We have
Brothers.
We have the billionaires
Yeah.
influencing our decisions in public schools because they want taxpayers to pay for their private schools.
Right. Well, they don't. They want to keep their money for other
the
things.
hell?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, they're that cheap? They don't even want to pay for their own kids' schools?
Yeah.
You remember?
Well, he's only got $29 billion. He wants to wait till it gets up to 30, 35, 40,
That's right.
maybe before he starts to chip in.
You know, if you can save just a little money along the way here and there.
It's not quite enough.
Yeah.
Really-
Taking it out of our pockets, of course.
Wow.
Right?
Oh, boy.
You remember in Europe, I played a little track from a Michael Moore movie.
All right.
And he went to some Scandinavian country where they don't really have private schools. And the reason is because, and it seems to make logical sense, that if you put regular middle class, lower class kids in with the wealthy kids,
right,
then the wealthy kids' parents will make sure those schools do really well.
Mm-hmm.
Right? and then of course the wealthy will do whatever they can to make sure those schools stay perfect.
Yeah.
The best. Now, we're obviously going in the opposite direction in this country.
Mhm.
We're going to take the wealthy kids out, take those the wealthy parents, and then pay for their schooling. It just it seems wrong. There seems the balance seems to be a little off on that. I want
Just
to play
a little.
I want to play this. I thought this was kind of interesting. Former Mueller prosecutor Andrew Weissman was on Fireline, and he was talking about Trump and the Ukrainian invasion, and this is cut 308. Let's play this track. Now, this is very interesting, very revealing. If we have problems in Ukraine and Trump doesn't like funding Ukraine, check this out.
Paul Manafort, who you were responsible for prosecuting, met with a top Putin ally, Konstantin Kilimnik, and agreed to a deal that would essentially have enabled Putin to take control of the eastern part of Ukraine with Trump's approval. And Manafort had implicitly agreed to this. Why has this not gotten more attention against the backdrop of the invasion of Ukraine by Vladimir Putin?
So I don't know why it has not gotten more attention, but I had the exact same reaction when the war occurred and you saw what Russia was trying to do. I was like, yes, of course. We had in writing, we'd sort of captured some emails between Konstantin Kilimnik and Paul Manafort talking about this deal and saying what they needed to make this work was a wink from Donald Trump.
There you go.
That
A wink from Donald Trump, and he gave that wink. And now we have the problems that we have, and that's why Donald Trump will settle this war once and for all
thank
by
goodness.
giving some of Ukraine to Putin.
Hey, we are all out of time for John and Gordy for today. Tomorrow will be at Short Stack Eatery. We hope you'll join us then for our live broadcast. Have a great day.
Show.